Hello, 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 my friends. Good morning to you. Happy Monday. Coleman. Gonna get my music going here so it wasn't... Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this?
Just connect your YouTube channel, click optimize, and VidIQ pulls from over...
This is an advertisement? It's gonna mess up.
What you should change with your title and thumbnail. See these green check marks?
Okay, well... Hello, Coleman. Thank you so much. Cheers to you, Coleman. Good morning, Jezriah. Good morning, Crystal. Cheers. 45 months is just wild to me. I think YouTube's back on their crap here. Let me pause this. This is frustrating. Oh, my goodness. I'm tired, Coleman. I am tired. I'll be honest with you. Got coffee brewing in the next room over. How are you feeling? 45 months with the bestest boyo. How lucky was I to stumble my way to one of the best friends a guy could ask for? No, seriously, Coleman. How lucky was I, honestly? Coffee, Jezriah. Coffee. You're dang right. How you doing? Hello, hello. Let me close my doors. Let me go grab that. Well, actually, hang on. I'll wait 1 second. The coffee pot's not quite hot yet. So, yeah, it'll be very soon. Just DM'd you pics of my finished custom Skyline in Need for Speed Heat. Oh, heck yeah. Drink all my coffee already. Mine's probably going to go pretty quick. Probably going to need another cup if I can remember, but I was hoping you'd be all rested up. Well, funny thing happened, and I'll fill you guys in on that. Let me go grab that. I just heard the coffee pot finish. Let me go grab that. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's actually a tea kettle. I called it a coffee pot, but I'm doing the pour over here next to me, so I needed the hot water from the tea kettle. So, hoping you'd be all rested up. Yeah, and I've got something funny happened, so which I'll tell you guys about too. But feeling pretty good. Just took it easy when we got home and went to bed at a decent time. That's good to hear. Are those the new cards, new board/card games you got/bought? Yes. And I'm going to show you all of that stuff too. Other people bought significantly more stuff than me, but I figured I'd at least show off my haul. I'm pretty satisfied with what I got. Pretty satisfied. But yeah, it was so what happened, Coleman, is I felt pretty good actually when we left the convention center. We split off from Sword Bear and his friend, who I will not name so that I don't dox him or anything. But we split off from Swordy, and we basically went back to the car. And on the way, we stopped and had lunch. There was a place that we stopped at, basically a little bit closer to the car, but midway between the convention center and the car. Had lunch. And then we were kind of talking, and the plan was to have me take Gabby, Iron, and Temig to the airport. And they were going to be pretty early because each of their flights got delayed, but at least they'd be there. So I take them there, and I keep checking their flights like over and over again. I keep like loading their flights. And of course, I'm tired at this point. We were relaxing on the couch. I did end up taking a little nap. It was maybe about an hour, and I woke up to Gabby's message saying that her flight was delayed to the next day. So I was like, okay, hang on. Let me look at, I was trying to figure out where was this at? Was it one of her layover spots? Was it here? Where was it? And so ended up finding out it was here. So I was like, and originally she was like, I'll just stay at the airport. I'm like, you don't need to do that. Like, so I ended up picking her back up. She stayed with us, and then I took her back early this morning. So it's basically, she was on the exact same flight that Kelt was on yesterday. So this seems to be a daily flight between Indianapolis and Detroit. So she was on that same flight. So same time as at 6:05 a.m. So yeah. So that's why I got a little less sleep. I got a little under 5 hours originally, and then I did go back to bed for about another hour when I got home. So yeah. I think you got more games than me. I ended up getting a lot of stuff for other people. That's true. You did get a lot of stuff for other people. And you got a lot of cards. You got a lot of cards too, right? I mean, a significant amount of cards. Next day is crazy. Yeah, and just, I don't know what it was. Like, I didn't notice any delays over there that would indicate that it was going to be a next day delay. I think she could have got on her first flight, but I think the problem was that first flight was delayed so long there wasn't another flight to get her home, and so they were just like, all right, well, we'll just redo everything and start tomorrow. I think that's how it was. But Iron and Temig got delayed so late. They didn't end up even landing until after midnight, I think, something like that. And their flight was supposed to be at 6:35 p.m. So it's just like, they ended up leaving like, I don't know how many hours late that was. It was probably almost 5 hours late. So yeah, just a lot of travel delays. Kelt dealt with a lot of delays too getting here. So that part sucked for everybody. But yeah, at least you're able to get that nap in earlier in the day. Yeah, definitely. Without that, I don't know what would have happened. And now Nidalicious is saying, stand up, you tired man. I know you only got 4 hours of sleep for several days in a row. The cards were a little much. Still no Luda. No. How you doing, Nidalicious? How's your day? How was your weekend? Did it involve a lot of Dragon Age? I was telling Iron how it was surprising I'm the only one that didn't have any airline issues, it seemed. Yeah, especially considering you rolled with Delta, Yeah, everybody else had at least some delay. I think Kelt's was really smooth getting back, but he obviously had the massive delays getting here. Well, actually, I think Nonder's was Nonder's flights were also smooth. I don't think he had a delay in either direction. Not for me, but for Doctor. Gotcha. Yeah. Fair enough. I can stand for a little bit though. I can do this. I just got to make sure I'm not gonna, when I put the desk back down, I'm not gonna hit something with it. The Force was with us. It was. Maybe a dice game instead because she was blocking my Steam account. Oh, yeah, you did say that. Yeah. So, Steam Deck too. And how is that? Looked like a pretty cool way to play, honestly. Pretty chill. Been working on design that doesn't use the same overall design as the one Paul Walker drove, but it uses the blue and silver color ideas to pay respects. I like that. For Dragon Age 1, flawless. That's awesome though. Have you had the Steam Deck for long? Because that's one thing, as man, I'm like, man, I would love to have a Steam Deck, and then I tell myself, you wouldn't play it nearly as much as you think you would. So I've never gotten one. I'm gonna miss the echo for streams. You could have had, you know, I mean, you had the first row audience view for at least the first one, but probably going to do Dragon Age 2 fine as well. Dragon Age 3 might be a bit too much for a smooth experience. Yeah, man. I only ever played a bit of 1 and 3. I never did play Dragon Age 2. Number 1 was a game I was so excited to play. One of my friends lent it to me because I didn't have it at the time. Played it on Xbox 360. Was so excited to play it because it just seemed like a game I was gonna absolutely adore. Building my character, having a blast, playing along, and I just could not get past the combat. I could not do it. I remember one of the very few games that I've actually rage quit. I went into a dungeon of some sort, and you know, everybody's just waiting, T-posing in the room for me until I get in there. I walk in, and everybody jumps to action. You know, it starts the battle, and it's a tough one. It's a really tough battle. Seemed like, you know, this was not the first room. I had fought through rooms of people like this. And there were a couple enemies that I was like, okay, that's got to be the toughest. That's got to be the toughest room in this dungeon, because there were a couple enemies in this room that hadn't been in the previous rooms, and my party was just was beaten up pretty good, but we were alive. And then I go into the very next room, and it's the exact same enemy set, just staring at me, waiting for me to walk in, and I'm like, this is so stupid. And then I got a TPK, naturally, because I just wasn't healthy enough to make that fight happen. And I was just like, this is so stupid. What's the point? Like, every dungeon room was exactly the same in this place, except for, you know, they added more characters as I went, and then it just was a carbon copy of every room. And I'm like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this. I was doing like the main quest line. I think it was the main quest, but anyway, it was very much a dungeon I was supposed to be able to do at the time, and it just was. I just got so frustrated with it. I was like, I'm done, and I uninstalled it. But I feel like most people really love the game. Had it since batch 1 in Norway. I use it whenever I travel and sometimes for laying on the couch. I played 90% of Tears of the Kingdom on it. Oh wow. Same way when the first Dragon Age game I tried to play. You were? This summer I did Tunic on it. Yeah, I saw Doctor play some Mage Tower yesterday. It looks super tedious. She said it's the worst part. Oh, okay. Then I don't know how far into the game that is. I mean, I gave it a legit shot. Like, I completed numerous quests, you know. It definitely was not like end game or anything like that. I didn't give it that much time. But I gave it what I thought was a legitimate shot. I did not just like fold the very first, you know, combat I came across. I didn't love the combat in the game anyway, and then when it was like that, I was just like, yeah, I think I'm done. I did really like the story. I wanted to keep going, but it just frustrated me too much. One of the very few games I've ever rage quit. So other people said too that it was like basically the console port was a port of the PC version. And so the combat makes a lot more sense when you play on PC, and which I could see. I could definitely see that. So, but yeah. Well, shoot. Let's talk some GenCon stuff. It was a great time. It was honestly. I don't know what it was exactly, but I felt like I was less tired this time around overall. I mean, I was definitely tired. Absolutely, I was tired, but I felt like I was less tired than I was last year by the end. I took a nap, and it was only a 1 hour nap, and I woke up feeling pretty good on Sunday. I remember distinctly Bogan, hello, good morning. Distinctly in 2023, I was struggling trying to make it home after dropping people off at the airport. And that was not an issue this time. I actually was up and having a conversation with Mrs. Magoots when I got home. And I did, like I said, I did take a nap. But it felt like it didn't feel like I was crashing. It felt like it was just like, yeah, I just need to recharge a little bit. So that was really nice. But we did have more people come in the day before this time. We actually had everybody except for Nonder and Kelt were there on Wednesday when the con started on Thursday. So that was interesting. Kelt's flight was so delayed. He got in after 2 a.m., like into the airport after 2 a.m. So we didn't get to sleep until about 3 a.m. Thursday morning. And then, yeah. Another issue that I had was my my car got a flat. I got a flat on Wednesday, basically Wednesday late morning, got a flat. And ended up taking it to the shop. I didn't get it back until about 24 hours later. And so I missed a good part of the convention. Yeah, right as we were going to pick up the irons. So their flight was supposed to be getting in around like 11:30 or something. The true Celts! I love you, my friend. Cheers to you. Cheers. So, yeah, I was just telling about some of the goings on of GenCon, LootsCon, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that flat was just so poorly timed because, as Coleman had said a couple of times, if it had happened the day before or even just earlier in the day, I would have been able to handle it much easier. But it happened like the worst time. It was when we were going to go pick up the first people that arrived in town for the con. I mean, Coleman was already here, of course, but yeah. Hello there, True Celt. We got to hear a hello there from True Celt in person. That was very cool. And Kelt is such a great person. I had such a good time catching up with him. I didn't get a chance to tell you this in person because I didn't want you were actively speaking when it hit me. It's the same thing that actually happened with Spooky last year. You remind me so much of one of my childhood friends. It was actually kind of crazy. I just, like, you were talking with somebody and I was like, holy crap. That's who Kelt reminds me of. One of my childhood friends, his name was Sean. And I'm like, holy crap, he reminds me so much of Sean. So, oh, Mana, hello. I was the constant lurker. But yeah, it was so great to meet you, Kelt, and it was just like I'm just so very thankful that you could make it out. Good morning, Lady Iron. I'm glad that you're home. Finally. You and Timig were numbers 9 and 10, or sorry, 8 and 9 to make it home. We're just waiting on number 10, which is Gabby. She will be home, well, probably in about 5 hours. Well, actually, that was Central Time. She's like, maybe about 6 hours. Kelt is good people. We would have missed your presence. Just gonna warn you, I'm pretty close to a Mad Lib redeem. Would it throw things off too heavy to do it in one to do one in a bit? No, not at all. I would just save it until I'm ready for it. That's all, Crystal. Yeah, Gabby got hit hard by delays. Feel so bad for her. I hated my flight delays. Yeah. I did talk with her. I was able to I was like, hey, I don't stay at the airport. You know, that's kind of what I told her. I was like, don't stay at the airport. You know, there's a hotel nearby, or you can come stay with us. But it'll be way better than staying at the airport. So she ended up staying with us another night. I took her back. She actually was on the same flight you were on, Kelt. So the 605 to Detroit. Same one. Not mentioned that big booby stormtroopers were brought up. They were. Yep, they sure were. I don't remember the context exactly, but I do. She asked about being compensated for the delay, and they told her they could not do anything because it was weather related, not their fault. So, yeah. Let's see. Glad she was able to stay with you. Yeah, that's the thing is it would have been, I think it would have been different if she had traveled a bunch, but she said it was her first time traveling alone. And I think it's just one of those things where you definitely want to make sure you're in a safe place, you know? And I think the airport is a safe place. It's just a very uncomfortable place. So the hotel, I definitely understood, like, not going to the hotel. You don't really know where you're at. You don't know anybody there. So like I said, I was happy to help out. So Kirk, hello, beautiful. Kirk, I was thinking about you a lot this weekend too. Definitely wish. I'm just waiting for the day that we can meet in person officially, Kirk. You're one of my oldest Twitch friends, and my God, that's going to be a glorious day. The one they bumped me from and sent me straight to Minneapolis. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I guess the one you didn't actually fly on, but the one you were planning on to fly on. Seems like there's a daily at that same time. That's what it looked like. There's a daily at that same time, which is the butt crack of dawn. But yeah, we miss you, sir. I want a Spooky and Kirk in-person cooking session, right? And we've heard Temig is a really good cook too. So yeah, definitely Kirk you were on our minds for sure. But yeah, so I guess back to the storyline. My tire got a hole in it. I took it to the shop, and then we basically had to use Mrs. Magoots's car a little more because of that. I had to borrow Spooky's car because of that. And I didn't get my car until the next day after lunchtime. So I missed a lot of the convention the first day. I missed almost the whole day of the convention. Because by the time I got my vehicle, we made it just in time for one of our scheduled Star Wars Unlimited events with Coleman. And then basically by the time that was over, the exhibit hall was going to be closing soon. So I did buy some dice, which I'll show you guys. My very first set of dice I bought. And then basically that was the end of day one at the convention. So Ghost, hello. Know what else has a hole in it? I'm sure you'll tell me. Love you, duder. I'll do everything in my power to make that happen someday soon. I did get some Temig time. Temig time is a good time. Fingers are a little fat this morning. Honestly, I put my sandals on, out, you know, socks and sandals, and I was like, man, I think my feet are a little swollen from all the walking we did and just all of that. So, yeah, I feel you on that. Still feel V bad leaving you behind. Well, like I said, I really wanted to go with all of you guys, but I didn't really have a choice. I had to stay behind because I had to have my vehicle, you know, in order to make the plans work for everybody. And it's like I said, you guys bought badges to go to the convention center. You didn't buy badges to wait for my like broken down car to be fixed. You know what I mean? So don't feel bad. D&D dice. Indeed, Jezraya. Indeed. I played my very first ever session of D&D. A donut. This is a Christian channel. Oh, I love donuts. Love you too, Kelt. One calf's a little bigger than the other after only a week and a half. Yeah, especially with how much you were using the calf. Kelt was basically propping one leg up on a scooter, and then the other leg was pushing the scooter. So it's meant for specifically for ankle injuries, foot injuries, things like that. And Kelt's been stuck in a boot for a little while now. That's epic. I remember my first D&D dice. Yeah? Do you still have them? Please tell me you took today off from work. I did not. I sure didn't. I took so many days off in July. I did not take today off. I'll probably take a little nap during the middle of the day, but I don't have the day off. I did enjoy D&D Crystal. I sure did. Yeah. I mean, we can talk about this in order, I guess. Since I mentioned Thursday, I bought my first set of dice. Let me show you those. All right. This is the dice case that they were in. I bought them from an Australian man. He was very funny. He definitely wanted to make a sale, no doubt. So bought, they actually had at their booth, they had probably, I would say 8 to 10 sets of dice that I was like, ooh, I like these. I really like these enough to buy them. But I went in very specifically. I said for my first set of dice, I need to find some that are like purple and kind of that cyan color, the Wildberry Pop-Tart coloring combo. So this is what I ended up with right here. They are a rose gold plated set of metal dice, and you can see they are in Wildberry Pop-Tart colors. So yeah, they're pretty weighty. They are, like I said, my camera's not going to focus super well on them. I'll try to use the D6. You can see a little bit more, but they're very weighty. They just feel good. They just feel good. So that's my first set of dice right there, my friends. So what happened was this was at the end of Thursday, so the end of the first day of the convention, and I think it was Temig, maybe. I can't remember who exactly had gone up and had talked to the guy. I was like, yeah, how's it going here at your booth? How you doing? You almost made it through the first day. He's like, yeah, it's been great. In his Australian accent, which just sounds so freaking cool. And he's like, yeah, it's been great. We're having a great day. Just gonna make a couple more sales. And he just kind of smiled after he said that, like he knew. Just gonna make a couple more sales. So I'm like trying to figure out which set of dice I'm going to go with, because again, they, as Coleman said, they had really nice dice. And so he's like, yeah, mate, if you buy a set of these metal dice or the liquid core ones, which these are metal, he's like, I'm gonna throw in a dice mat. He's like, I'll just throw in a dice mat. So he gave me this excuse me, he gave me this dice mat right here. Octi, hello. Cheers to you, Octi. Thank you so much, my loves. Cheers. He gave me this dice mat for free as well. And we kind of looked at each other, was like, well, is he doing that for everybody? Because it didn't say it anywhere on the booth, but I think he might have heard me say it was my first set of dice. And he's like, I know it's the first day, but I don't want to bring any of this stuff back with me in Australia. And I was like, all right, deal. And then I got a free D10 for basically any purchase. You got a free, another free die. So I picked this D10 that has like purple and green swirly, and this one's resin. This one's pretty light. So yeah, that was my very first purchase at the con. And my very first purchase of dice. So yeah. You can hear the wind blowing every time the employee entrance opens. Yeah, you guys doing all right there, Kirk? I think you guys are in the clear, but I was definitely keeping an eye on them. Hot damn, they're like Gale dice, love them. Those are sick. I was very pleased. And actually, Nonder was the one who found this particular set of dice, because we'd been looking at the table for a little while. It's kind of hard to like individually assess each set of dice when there's just so many there. I found the same colorway, but instead of a rose gold plating, they had silver plating. And when he pointed out the rose gold ones, I was like, ooh, I think those are the ones. Those are the ones. So that's a 3 Wolf Moon shirt, GenCon style. It is. It sure is. That was another purchase that was made. That was the first purchase of Friday for me, I believe. So yeah, Octi, I didn't know if you got to see him or not. These were my first ever set of dice in order to play D&D with. So they are Wildberry Pop-Tart colored and rose gold plated metal dice. I really liked the feel and the weight behind the metal dice. So that's what I went with. Gosh, I didn't think I'd get more jealous. It was actually like, even I was kind of surprised. I don't know, surprised or impressed, whatever you want to say. Because, I mean, you've been in the exhibit hall, Octi, so you know how many just sets of dice are in that hall amongst all the booths and everything. And I walked in and I made up my mind. I was like, if I don't decide like what kind of dice I want ahead of time, I will be in here for forever. I will never escape this place. This place will become my tomb. So I was like, all right, I gotta find my favorite color combo, which is Wildberry Pop-Tart. So I just said, all right, let's find some Wildberry Pop-Tarts. And there were a bunch of other cool dice that I was like, I could definitely see myself using these. But I just stuck to my plan. I said Wildberry Pop-Tart or nothing. And so we found some. We went to several different booths. One had the like perfect color combo, but they only had D6s. They didn't have any others. So we had to kind of rule that one out. And then I ended up finding a set of Witcher dice that were the perfect color combo the next day or 2 days after. Yeah, that was Saturday. They were dandelion themed from The Witcher, but they were resin dice, and I had already. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy one that's pretty much the exact same colorway. I want to try to get different themes to my dice. So, yeah. Bought one of those as well. Reminds me of the Chosen. You got one of these too. I love the tie-dye around as well. So, got your 13-year-old one. That's right, you did. Rose Gold is goated. Octi is goated. All my friends gathered, and you've got sick dice. We just got an outer band, so it's just windy and rainy. I kind of hope it lasts all day so the house stays cool. That part would be nice for sure. Keep thinking about that D&D session. Yeah, which is great because Coleman's at least familiar with D&D, and Coleman was like, that was a really good campaign. I'm like, good. Because, I mean, I thought it was great, and I had nothing to compare it to other than Baldur's Gate 3. So, I got that shirt and the roll with pride. Gotcha. Okay. Wildberry Pop-Tart sounds like a strawberry shortcake character. I've been thinking, like, do I call it WBPT for short? Or WBP? Not gonna lie, my tomb's surrounded by D&D die sets. Yeah, I would die happy. Would die happy? Knee slapper. Well missed. We talked about you a lot. We did. That's true. So yeah, this was the first purchase of Friday. This was made by Temig because we weren't going to get there. They were already at the convention center because they had an early morning event. And we were not going to get there in time to basically wait in line, make the purchase, and get to our D&D session. So thank you to Temig for purchasing this too, and waiting in line. And then so we went and played D&D, which, as Coleman and I have already talked about, was awesome. It was he said it was a new module called Broken Weave. The one that we played was called Titan's March. It was a one-shot. I got to play as an elf speaker. So I had a +5 charisma boost, and I was basically the smooth talker of our merry gang. So that was a lot of fun to play like that. Our DM was, I have no DMs to go off of, but he was knowledgeable. He was patient. He was easygoing. Like, he did a really great job. I have nothing but positive things to say about him. And so I think that, as people have told me, like, having a good DM makes a huge difference, makes really sometimes all the difference. He definitely was rolling with our silly scenarios, and yeah, it was very, very, he did a fantastic job. But the best part was just doing a session with so many people that I felt comfortable with too, you know. So I knew that the things I was going to be saying and the choices I was going to be making, like, nobody was going to judge or second guess and stuff like that, which was just also a very, very comfortable feeling. So, Nonder, hello. Guys, cheers. Thank you, Nonder. Cheers to you, my friend. Welcome in, everybody. You guys, Nonder was so incredible to meet, honestly. I heard him joke around saying he thought he was more weird in person than he was online, but honestly, like, Nonder, when we left, I was like, man, it was, and honestly, even before we Nonder had departed, I was just like, man, Nonder is such a cool person. Like, seriously, I just felt instantly just felt connected to Nonder, and it was just very, very cool. I just instantly, I hope he feels the same, but like I was like, man, I could just see myself being the best of friends with Nonder. So if we lived nearby, I would just be like, you're welcome all time. I mean, you are welcome anytime, but just like, yeah, you're always welcome here. Lutz was the best persuader. It was fun to try to be the smooth talker and try to make people convinced on stuff. I've only done like a partial campaign. I'm not an expert by any means, but still, you have more knowledge than I do for sure. Perkins is greater than Mercer. Fight me. I'm not gonna fight you. Blue, hello, and Ams, hello. Fresh off LootsCon, your favorite non in his stirs. Blue's chickened out to a non-race raid. Ursa, good morning. Hello, hello. He's real. First of all, how dare you? We missed your face. Who got it? Ooh, great question. My screen says me, but let me check the mod stream. It does show Coleman first on mine, but only one response from LootsBot. Next year will be a major party. Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about today too. Is what it would look like in the future. Looking at a good cry about the whole weekend in a good way. I honestly, I feel that. I will tell you this, Nonder. I'm not a crier myself, but I definitely feel all the feels, and I promise it's not like, I've talked about this before. It's not some sort of like weird masculinity thing. Like I can't, if I cry, I'm a woman. It's not anything like that. It's just kind of always been how I've been. And I remember last year, I was taking Coleman to the airport. I could not get up in time to get Wes and Kara to the airport. So the next person to leave was Coleman. And I was driving him and we were just kind of chatting. It was a little bit of a shorter trip to the airport than I had to make for everybody this year, but just kind of talking. He's like, man, this was just such a fun weekend. And I was like, I kind of was like trying to say, yeah, this was just better than I could have possibly expected. And I kind of had to wait to say it because as I realized the words were forming in my brain, I just got like a fat lump in my throat. And I was just like, if I don't take a moment, it's going to be Waterworks City here. So I don't know. That is what I was told. Yeah, honestly, Nonder did beat me in Star Wars Unlimited. And I think Nonder beat me pretty solidly. Our game was the first match of the day, and both of us, that was our first time playing in sort of a less controlled. I mean, controlled environment is sort of relative here, but we had each played a match with Coleman just to learn the ropes. That was our first time kind of like on our own, having to remember the rules without somebody, hovering over us the whole time. And so we've been real careful setting things up and setting everything up. And then we realized at the end, we looked and everybody's done except for us. So they're waiting on our match to finish. We're like, oh crap. And people were like, somebody was like, you could attack their base, and so then we're like, oh shoot. So we kind of just started attacking each other's bases. But it was funny. We were doing all this setup and it's like, really, you want to be attacking the base during the game, not just like building up to a big attack on the base. So anyway, it was kind of funny, and Nonder beat me pretty soundly, I think. But Temig and I, we were one turn apart. It was a really fun match. It'll be huge next year. My goodness, I have to do some planning. We're gonna have to do some brainstorming. So nice shirt choice, Lucy. Thank you, Ursa. Thank you. Nonder's so chill. Loved hanging with him. He is chill, but also like, I don't know. I was trying to think of a good word to describe Nonder, because chill is definitely the right word, but there's another. I feel like I need another word, like a modifier to that, and I haven't been able to figure out what it is. Like I remember Nonder saying he thought he was gonna be awkward or whatever, and it just was so not. Like he just felt so. It just instantly I felt comfortable around him. Instantly. I mean, I picked him up from the airport in Spooky's car, which was funny in itself, but like. I just instantly, I was like, it was like I was picking up an old friend, like truly. Love Elven characters. Ironically enough, I bought Aramil pack back to life last night in session 1 of the Rebirth My Friend Wiggles homebrew campaign, the Pharaoh of Sorrow. Feeling is so mutual. Might have forgotten about the race and the lunges. I was too in the moment. I also forgot about the lunges. I remember we were walking at one point and somebody's like, yeah, you're gonna have to race Nonder. And I was like, yeah. The problem is finding out like where we would race. I mean, we're not gonna race at the convention. We would run people over. So, and then I forgot after that. So, speaking of next year, may I tell a story? Please do. Messed it up, but you get it. I'm a ball baby. I'm a strong man, I swear. More about getting the time to process the emotions for me. If it was like one day longer, I would have broken down. How are Wes and Carrot? They're doing well. They're doing well. I spoke to Wes pretty recently. They be busy, but good, I think. Love you, Coleman. Your game was pretty close. Oh, mine and Nonder's? It was, but I definitely, there was a point in the match where I was like, shoot, I don't have enough turns left to beat him. And then I just had to continue on like the slow dying process, you know? Hearing so many people talking about coming next year. Yeah. So we definitely need to talk future state. We should hang out and chill on Discord again soon. Yes, please. Nonder looks so huggable. Can confirm. I got so many hugs and everyone was so good at it. Yeah, Nonder, I mean, that was the thing is I texted Nonder as I was about to pull up. I was like, hug, fist bump, handshake. You know, what do you prefer? And he's like, hug me. I loved that. Need to start saving euros. Wholesome? Wholesome is a good word for sure. Let's see how I describe Nonder to Peachy. A complete love bug, wonderful human. That's accurate. To be honest, Lutz, I was playing a joke where we started and I instantly run out of breath and quit. Oh no. You're saying you're getting a little emotional bringing me to the airport last year. This year you were ready for me to go. I bet I was not, Coleman. Taking part to D&D one-shots. DM is from Sweden and the group I watch /mod are all from Australia. Now they're playing second homebrew made by their DM, Josie. That sounds very cool. Homebrew sounds super impressive. Do appreciate you so much letting me stay with you for a few days. And I was glad, first of all, I was glad to do it, but I just wish we could have spent more time together. Work ended up being a lot more busy than I thought it was going to be. Because yeah, like guys, Coleman and I, it was like, was it, I think Monday, it was Monday. We did a little walking. I got to tour Coleman around the city just a little bit, which I love doing. I like, it's so funny. I remember when I first moved here, I was sort of like, yeah, you know, I live in Indiana. It's fine. It's Indiana. But the longer I've lived here, the more I'm like, no, I actually like, I enjoy my city and I want to show people the great parts of my city. Like just the best parts of living around here, you know? And I've not hidden anything. Like we've driven through the lesser fortunate parts of the city as well. I don't hide anything from anybody. It's just like everywhere, it has some tougher parts as well. So it's certainly not perfect. We are a city of humans after all. We are not perfect. But yeah, I got to tour Coleman around the city a little bit, and that was on Monday. Then I had to get to an event. Well, actually, I had to get to practice. Then Tuesday, this is the thing I felt so bad about. I had to do I basically had to cut down parts of a tree, and they've been sitting waiting to be burned for a good while now. So Coleman was helping me burn stuff, and I'm like, man, he's just working here. That's not what I wanted to do. But it was all I had time for before I had to leave for a college signing, and one of my other athletes was doing an interview, so I had to be there for that too. And then Wednesday is when our friends got in, so I did take a good portion of Wednesday off. So. Debating bringing my kids, but I don't want people to deal with them. I wouldn't mind them, AMs. Issue with more people is not being able to accommodate everyone in one Airbnb. Don't know how we'll swing that. Yeah. City is really nice. Nice looking tour guide helps too. And a cute audience. If I do come in my kids, I can figure out a place. Don't worry. Actually, I already talked about getting another one maybe, but we will see. Most likely drive to Indy anyways. Next year we would most likely drive to. Yeah, so you were thinking it's not too bad. I'm glad, Nonder, that you had a smooth travel experience this year though. Coleman helping you burn stuff. Yeah. You think burning things is work for me? It's fun. It was hot outside. That was like the hottest day of the week, and we're over a fire, so it was just sweat city though. I had to get a shower before going to the event. Read Ams about bringing her kids and thought Non was answering getting another kid. Yeah, I'll get another kid. Why not? Pyro Coleman. Sorry, I believe I mentioned that me and Doctor are celebrating our 10th wedding anniversary next year. We've been saving for a second honeymoon. We had some loose plans, mostly me visiting Twitchers in Colorado, and Doctor wanted to go to Jared Padalecki's restaurant in Texas. Since our wedding day being August 1st, GenCon and LootsCon would fit rather nicely. However, that money needs to be relocated, so the trip is not going to happen. I'll post a pic and pics so y'all can see. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I honestly, I'm more so sorry that you have to relocate the money. Obviously, I would love to meet you in person, Delicious, and Dr. Licious. But like, I hope that you're able to take a trip, with something that you guys want to do. The 10th anniversary is very cool. Look at the pic. Hi. I'm stealing this. Did you post it already? Oh my goodness! You guys! Congratulations! Nidalicious and Doctor, the Licious family. A bean! Papa Licious! I am terrified. Oh my. Nidalicious, like we've talked about this, and I'm gonna try to slowly speak of this because I have a feeling something's coming here. So I don't want to get too deep into my train of thought. But we've talked about this on stream before. Like, I don't know if we talked about parenthood specifically. But like, you talked about being a troll, and you talked about being like, whatever, and all this. But like, I speak for a lot of people when I say like, we've also genuinely felt the love you have. And like, you will be a great parent. Like I have no doubt about that. Like like I said, you always have jokes, I know. But like, that's something that I just feel like, we've been friends long enough now for me to feel comfortable in saying this too. And I hope it's true, but like I've definitely felt the love. And I know you have a lot of love to give. So that child is so very fortunate to have you. Like I know that to be the truth. I'm at the auto. Stop making me cry. Yeah, that's so awesome. Congratulations. And I'm sorry you're not going to be like taking a trip, but like it is a good reason, it's a really good reason. And your puppies are lucky to be getting a sibling. Yes, that's going to be cool too. It's going to be very cool. Well, congratulations on the start of your new adventure, your new family. That's going to be very cool. And of course, we're going to want all the info, on how you guys are getting ready and all of it. So, gosh dang. A gasp. I love that too. Since we nicknamed Buffy and Tyra B1 and B2, the project name is B3. B3 loading. Very happy for you. That's awesome. Goodness me. Maybe we should talk about next year though. Like maybe this is a segue because we can think about Daddy Licious and Dr. Mama Licious too. I'll be honest. I've ran through a few things in my mind. I don't know how many people will have, and that's something we're gonna have to start planning this earlier this year. For the next one, we're gonna have to start planning earlier. We we didn't really lock in until February, which sounds like it's still pretty early, but we locked in our rental, basically our Airbnb, in mid to late February. I think it was like February 21st, something like that. And we'll need to be quicker because the original place that I was going to get us was not available. It was already booked. So we'll need to be earlier on the planning. I probably will start planning. We need to start planning in December, which is kind of wild to think about, but yeah, it will require a group effort, and we'll have to figure out. It's gonna be a lot of coordination, and I'm up for it, no doubt. I'm up for it, but it will require a lot of coordination. So a lot of parents here, so ask away, yeah. Okay, I thought Lutz was asking for details on how it happens. Like, are we having the birds and the bees talk on stream? Well, don't we always, pretty much? Team captains, house captains, Sword Bear, hello. It was also so great to meet Sword Bear in person. Sword Bear is as funny in person as he is on stream. Just like I just was like, and actually even getting to, we talked about this before actually with some other people, but Swordy is so talented. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And like hearing his, some of his voice impressions in person versus just on stream, I'm just like in awe, you know, of just his talent. It's off the freaking charts. We're planning on going too. Ursa and I both had a gaming group when we met and got to invite them. Not sure who will actually accept though. Mursa, hello. Good morning. I would so love to meet Ursa and Mursa. And Spooky, hello. Hello, hello. I did share this idea. I think it was with Gabby, Temig, and Iron. It was very dumb. I realized like it was forming in my head, and I was like, oh, that could kind of work. And then I waited about another 30 seconds. And I was like, this is the dumbest idea I've ever had. Maybe. You guys ever do? You ever do that? You ever just think about something? You're like, oh yeah, that could work. And then you're like, no, that's really stupid. But I was kind of like leaning into the fact that you guys call it LootsCon, and I get a little bit bummed out is not the right word, but like, because it is such a large group of people, it's hard for me to truly like get one-on-one time with people most of the time. And so I was thinking, I was like, what if it was kind of like, what if we actually kind of made an unofficial con where like I could schedule things out where I can actually spend time with either individuals or smaller groups of the whole, and be like, all right, me and Coleman are gonna go. We're gonna go play a game of Star Wars Unlimited at this time, you know, which would be, I mean, I think I'm just overthinking things, because people just need to be able to hang out and do what they want. But I really do want to spend time with everybody, and it's hard to do that, you know. Glad to hear doing fine. Got home last night and kept it real low key. Now back to work, Ryan. I'm also back to work today, Swordy. So jealous of how witty and funny Swordy is. Well, don't be jealous, because honestly, Nander, like I said, you have such a way about you as well. I think we just have to enjoy each other's company, you know? And I know you did. I know that's not what you're saying at all, but you just have such a way about yourself. A lot of parents in our vicinity as well, but it feels nice that there's so many excited people. We're both taking turns and being in panic mode over different things, and I think that's understandable. It's definitely a big deal, no doubt. But I also just like, I know you're gonna be such a good dad. Hush now, seriously, thanks for letting me and Zach party crash. We had a great time. And honestly, and I didn't know if since you said his name, I didn't know if I could say Zach's name or not. But Zach was like, dude, Zach's awesome. Seriously enjoyed having his company around too. Like he was just such a great fit with everybody. I didn't know how it'd be, you know, when Spooky was like, yeah, he's gonna bring a friend. I was like, man, I hope he doesn't feel like, you know, because we at least all are familiar with one another. It's like, I hope he doesn't feel sort of like left out or anything. Perfect personality for the group. It was awesome to meet him. Spooky was up before we left for the airport, refused to come out and give me a hug. That's true, yeah. Can we get official LootsCon shirts for next year? We didn't make any shirts, but that is one thing I want to show you. Should I maybe do the haul, and then we can try to brainstorm as well? But we're sort of open to not doing it around GenCon for more time. Yeah, and that's something else that I think that's that is most likely going to have to be the case if as many people are planning on coming, like as many people come as are planning on coming. I think that has to be the case. Really stupid ideas right as they form. That's pretty much every moment of my life on repeat. The key is say the dumbest poop that pops into your brain loudly before common sense stops it and people laugh. That's the key. Don't you guilt me. I'm doing plenty of that myself. Lost 3 pounds walking GenCon. That's a lot of steps. My feet are definitely swollen from all the walking we did. Because I put on my sandals. I'm like, dang, what's up with my sandals? Oh, right. We walked a lot. Because they are barely fitting on my feet right now. Buffy has grown quite protective and cuddly. She's instinctively avoiding the stomach. Tyra's showing some signs, but still a bit of whirlwind goof and not as careful. A lot of walking. Was a very good crew there. It was. It was. Felt bad enough waking Lutz up to drive me. Didn't want to barge into your room. I was like, I had already been awake though, Coleman. It's fine. Zach was such a hit. I really like that guy. Yes. Zach rules. Chillest man alive. Got to weigh in. Very curious which one out. The walking or the fried chicken. Felt bad when Sorty and Zach got there and I was so zoned out. Forgot to hug Quoro goodbye, but it was not personal. We have a channel for LootsCon, so brainstorming will start now. Yeah, we'll probably have to start talking about it. Such a good dude. One of my best friends from college and just a huge ball of positivity and chillness. I knew he'd fit in well. He is absolutely a ball of positivity and chillness. No, we get it. Everyone remember to drink some water. I was expecting my first. We had a cat girl who loved to lay near my tummy, and when baby kicked for the first time, she was so surprised. Oh. All right, let me show you this stuff so you can see. So I was going through the merch haul, I guess, from the con. This is the GenCon shirt that was chosen. 3 dragons howling at the moon, and I love the black tie-dye background of it. Some of you have not yet seen my dice. This is my first ever set of dice. I went in and I said, I would like Wildberry Pop-Tart, please. And we ended up finding these. So they are metal dice, plated in, it's like a rose gold colored plating. They are very cool. I'm very glad that we found them. First ever set of dice. The guy threw in a dice mat as well. So that was very, very kind. He's like, hey, I know it's the first day, but like, I don't want to travel. He was for Australian. He's like, I don't want to travel all the way back to Australia with this. I was like, bet I'll buy them right now. So yeah, this one I want to speak to Coleman about. This was left behind, and I didn't even get a chance to actually like give Coleman money for this. So I have to figure that part out now. Creepshow. It's a card game of Creepshow, and I saw it. A couple of them had brought it back from the con. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go get that. We went over to the booth and they were all sold out. And Coleman was like, you know, you can have mine. I bought it because it looked cool, but you actually want the game. And then he just left it behind. I didn't even get a chance to pay him for it. Temig, hello, Temig. Cheers, my friend. How the heck are you feeling today? I'm glad you guys made it home safe. And it was great spending time with Temig once again. So that was the first part of the first game of GenCon was Creepshow right here. And then this was an interesting one here. So I decided I wanted to try out solo board gaming. There is a title called Final Girl. Final Girl. And you can see this is like Nightmare on Elm Street coded. So this is a single player only game. You have to buy like a core box, and then they have, I don't know how many different episodes they have. This is one episode of the game, and it's supposed to last like 20 to 60 minutes per episode. And supposedly they have good replayability as well. But this episode is called Frightmare on Maple Lane. Yeah, so that is going to be really cool actually. And Zach, Swordbear, and I went in. They had a deal on the last day of the con that was buy 4 episodes, get the 5th one free. So to save ourselves some overall money, we split that deal up. So yeah, this is the one I got, was the Nightmare on Elm Street one. And then both Zach and Swordbear have 2 episodes, and we were like, hey, we'll just trade next chance we get. Like once everybody's played one of the games and we want to make a trade, we're close enough in proximity, we'll just we'll try to make some trades. So that'll be really cool to, and also to hear their feedback on how the game goes too. So, Prime Thymig. Tired? Yeah, same. Loots and non remember that it came up, but not why. Yeah. Could move your cam down and stream that. That'd be cool. I would consider that for sure. Look like 9 to 10. Yeah, I think that is about right on episodes. There was one I was really interested in, but they were sold out of individual copies, and it was like Big Bad Wolf. It was a Big Bad Wolf episode that kind of made it look like fairy tale, which looked really, really cool, like dark fairy tale. Have you on 3 screens? 1 is a phone, 2 PC, and the internet timing is terrible. Oh, but usually it is tough to get them to sync up sometimes. I have feelings there was very little context. I seriously cannot remember exactly how it was brought up. I do distinctly remember that it was brought up. You guys know why I had to get this game, right? I saw a promo for this game on the in some of the hallways, and I was like, okay, well, obviously I need to go check that game out. It's called Loot. And so we went and we watched a little bit of gameplay from it. I read about it and I was like, you know what? I didn't want to buy any games aside from Final Girl, because that one is I can play by myself. I didn't want to buy any games that were 2 or more players unless I was very confident that Mrs. Magoots would also enjoy it. So so this one, we checked out the gameplay of it. I read the description, everything on the back, and I feel pretty good that Mrs. Magoots would enjoy this game. So I bought it, and it just so happened to be my brand. It's Viking-esque, and it's called Loot. So I mean, come on. Come on. Are you kidding me? And then this one I had no intentions of buying until I saw that they had the sale. So the same place that I got Loot, they had a sale on Sunday, was buy 1 game, get 1 50% off. And so this one is called Expeditions Around the World. Basically, it is a game where you plan trips. And it's a 2-player game. Well, it's either 2 or 4, I think. 2 to 6 players, but it's about planning trips around the world. And I was like, oh yeah, Mrs. Magoots will enjoy this game. This might actually be, I feel like this is going to be a good one. Like, she probably will like this one the best out of the games that we'll play together in this haul. So yeah, that's what I picked up. That made it to where Loot was 50% off by buying that game. So it does kind of look like 3 boobs. It does. You know what it does. Have Friday the 13th parody, and I don't know what they're parodying, but like Culty Home Intruders. Zach got The Thing and Poltergeist. Yeah. The Home Intruders part. Yeah. What does that make me think of? What is that? What is that movie? I don't know. Looks like a neat game. You're neat. Mad Lib Redeem is just in case you missed it. I'm not going anywhere, so totally. Yeah, remind me, Crystal, because once I get through this, the rest of this stuff, I definitely want to do that. It was more horror. They're all more horror themed than that, Nonder, than Home Alone. But yeah, gonna take the trash out. Will be lurking. All right, Nonder, love you. I'll miss you. I bought a freaking fanny pack. I've been looking for like a funky design fanny pack for a long time. I walked by, and within about probably 10 seconds of walking by this booth, I was like, well, I'm gonna buy one of these. So now it's just a matter of choosing which one, and this is the one I picked. So new fanny. I called it my fanny. All right, here you go. Here's what it looks like. So now I've got a fanny pack. So if I don't have pockets, or I don't have enough pockets, I can wear a fanny pack. And that was like the perfect design I was going for. So this is handmade. Which is also very cool. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys like my fanny. And then I saved the most precious for last, and that's because our dear mod Coleman has such a big heart. Last year, and actually you can see it on the screen right there. He had that poster commissioned and made for our gathering last year. He had another one made this year. So this is the LootsCon 24 poster. Went into the pirate theme There are a lot of other references in this poster as well. It's just so well done. So well done. He has such a good idea. He has such a good idea, and the artist does such a good job of bringing that idea to life too. So this is the official poster of the year. But yeah, so these are we're gonna make it available if anybody wants this. But DM me if you'd like a copy of it, and we'll see if we can figure out a way to get it to you. All right. So yeah, a huge and special thank you to Coleman for getting this made for another year. I sincerely hope that he knows too. Like it is not an expectation if we do a yearly gathering. It's not an expectation that we have a poster every year. I know it's something he likes doing at the same time, but it is not something I'm going to expect. So I think that's everything. I don't think I missed anything of the GenCon haul. Like I said, it's a fairly modest haul. But it's one I'm really pleased with. I just everything was just, it was good. It was just good. My frames, oh, useless. Oh, you got a useless fact and a daily convo. All right. I think I'm gonna have a seat too. Why don't I have a seat? Still gonna switch songs there. I missed you. No, I didn't miss him, Bogan. I'm getting to him right now. I'm just gonna have a seat first. Make sure my desk isn't gonna crush any games. Ugh. Woo. That is so cool. You're so cool, Omina. All right, here is the daily convo. How much would you have to be paid to never use another cell phone? That's a great question. And I think I know the answer because it came up this weekend. I would need enough money to build a commune for all my friends, and then I will gladly throw my cell phone in the river. So there you go. Give me enough money to start a commune with my friends, and my phone is as good as destroyed. I do have a number, but it's pretty high. Yeah. He called me cool because I speak the truth. Coleman got me a Lego lightsaber too. He's such a sweet man. He is a sweet man. Time to go pick up B1 and B2. Thank you everyone for your support and excitement. It helps me calm down a bit, but don't be surprised if I reach out just because I'm terrified. We're always here for you, Nidalicious. Seriously. We love you, dude, and be safe out there. Her style fits this so well. It does. Yeah, I love commissioning artists, and she's easy to work with. Let's see. I want that shirt, Dragons. Come on, Loots. You're making me jealous at this point. You might be able to get it online. They sold out at the convention. But you might be able to get it online. How was the drive? Wait, whose drive? Was that for Spooky? $20,000 dues because I can just use a PC or a laptop. Well, that's true. A little loophole there, huh? Flip it. Hugs to you, Temig. Realistically, 5K a month. Unrealistically, 10K a month. Wait, unrealistic? It's just a little talking. I mean, I think any number is realistic, or at least as realistic as any other number. Useless fact for you, Bogan, is that Benjamin Franklin invented the rocking chair. Benjamin Franklin invented the rocking chair. So you can thank old Uncle Ben every time you have a seat in the good old rocking chair. Wait, do they have rocking chairs in Australia? Not bad at all. Once you're out of the city, it's all cornfields till home. Called the girlfriend and caught them up with the weekend events. Gotcha. Yeah. It is true. It's a lot of cornfields. It sure is. And we also talked about this. It is, for whatever reason, it's pretty similar. It's a pretty similar drive. But but it's also just infinitely better than driving the same distance in Ohio. I really don't understand why. But it is much better. I don't get it. Love rocking chairs. I don't think we have any. I think that emergency was a lifesaver. I feel pretty good. No con crud. You can thank Mrs. Magoots for that. That was her idea. And yeah, I plan on having a little more just to be extra safe. But I know it does work. It does work. Of course, you know, if we were passing around COVID, it wouldn't work, being viral and all. But you know, for everything else, sinus infections and whatnot, it can prevent them. Yeah. Ohio's not real. You can't make me believe it either. Mary had a great idea with that. She does have a lot of good ideas. It's true. I love a good rocking chair right now. I've got legs shaking, stim energy, and would love to just rock, watch Loots, pretend to work. Mrs. Magoots was so lovely too. She, I think she really enjoyed meeting everybody. It was a great group once again. So far, I don't think anybody's been sick so far. Watching the Olympics, been watching a good amount, as much as I can. I watched almost none the last few days because of everybody getting together, but we did watch some yesterday. Dreaming traveling to your place first and from there to LootsCon. Dreaming is so much fun, right? You should look into some of these desk treadmills. Such a great way to get out some of that energy. The walking pads are really great. They are. Mrs. Magoots is my favorite Loot spouse. Wait, what? Excuse me? Who's my other spouse? It's true. I do have two wives. Mrs. Magoots is wife number 1 and the track is wife number 2. Australia have been really good and not just at swimming. Not just at swimming. Me. Other spouse alludes, non-spooky Coleman. True. See? Nonder says me. I do love all those boyos. I really do. I have a lot of love for those guys. Those guys are all incredible people. And like I was saying earlier, it was so good to meet True Kelt as well. Kelt reminded me so much of a childhood friend that I didn't have a falling out with. We just kind of grew apart. Reminded me so much of him, and that was such a cool realization too, because I had a very similar realization with Spooky last year. One of my absolute best friends, like he was in my wedding, I was in his wedding. At some point just decided he didn't want to be friends with really any of our friend group anymore. We have a feeling we know why, but he just totally ghosted us, so we won't get the explanation from him. And last year there was a time during our hangs where Spooky and I were having a conversation, and I noticed one of his mannerisms that was so similar to my buddy. Like I said, he was one of my absolute best friends in my life. And I was just like, wow, this is so cool, because it's like I lost that friend, but I gained this friend. And it just felt like instantly, it's just like, man, this is just so cool. Work thing coming up, then got to check out the GenCon weight loss, damage, and track down food. Back in a bit. Understandable, Sorty. I hope it's all good things. Hope the work thing's not too draining. I'm a little bit worried about what I'll see when I get back. Things were I left them in the state was fine that they got left in, but there was a few things that I was a little bit uncertain. So just platonically even. Thought about one of those little under desk pedals. I already have multiple things under my desk though. It can add up for sure. The different gadgets and whatnot. Had rounds of FOMO, but I was mostly only full of love. And we love you, Octi. Like, it was definitely you were on our mind. Office is way too full of crap too. Make me wonder if I just grow apart from others I don't see anymore. It's one of those things where, you know, if you stay in touch with somebody, then you haven't really grown apart. But like, I was trying to think of the last time I spoke with him. He got married like last year, I think. And I talked to him a little bit leading up to the wedding, but I haven't really talked to him since. I congratulated him. So I couldn't, I think he was that was kind of the other thing too, is he was telling me that he was getting married and said he was going to send me something, and then I never actually got anything about it. So it could have been one of those things. And I promise, like if somebody gets married and I don't get invited to the wedding for whatever reason, I do not hold a grudge on that, because being married myself, and especially when you have a limit on the number of people you can invite, it was the hardest thing I've ever done, is trying to decide like, okay, this person can come, but I don't have room for this person. You're literally ranking people, and that is the worst freaking thing ever. Hello, Koro, is that you? So yeah, I will never hold it against anyone to not be invited to a wedding. It's such a painful process. Only regret is not being able to have more deep combos. There were a few, but probably better, because I would have cried for sure. I didn't remind you of anyone. I'm just too unique, I guess. You are a brand new friend for me, Coleman. But honestly, it's like most everybody that I've met through Twitch has been a brand new friend. Like it was so far, I've only had that realization with Spooky and Kelt, and just it being a familiar presence to me. Everybody else, I think, is just because you don't remind me of somebody I already knew doesn't mean you aren't just as valued. Couldn't believe when I saw Katie Ledecky win a race in the pool a few days ago by a full 10-second gap. She was so far ahead, no one else in the pool was even showing on the screen. Yeah, that's wild. Thinking about that on my iffy night, I feel the same way. I left some in a state of almost loading. Also, Kelt, I have your power brick, by the way. The one you lent me to charge my watch. I have that. I realized that as I was going to go clean up the room. I unplugged my phone and I went to go unplug my watch. And I was like, oh, crap. I shouldn't have been able to have those plugged in at different times. I'm surprised you're up, Koro. Are you Eepy? You are unique. Incredibly, uniquely awesome. I agree. Very glad I got to talk a little religious trauma with Koro. That was a goal of mine. Where the invite was killed by the mail system. The mail system always got it out for us. I feel like it's fair until it's a family member, though. Yeah, I think you just mean like being ghosted by a family member, Bogan. Wish we'd had more time. Honestly, never met anyone like Coleman before. He's one of a kind. Love you, boy. It was always great hanging with you. Be thankful to have you tag along with me going to the con early. Coleman's a unique personality type, and I don't have another friend like him. Love making new friends. All right, hang on to it. Mary Lutzmas, thank you, Kelt. I could send it back when I send your poster if you need me to. Just let me know. Should have gave the power block to Spooky since he'd be sending Kelt's bag. That's true. Or maybe now Spooky will have to stop by here when he heads home. I don't know. But I think I also have Kelt's badge. So I mean, I'm gonna have to send something too, I think, right? Or no, he has Spooky has the poster for Kelt, doesn't he? Okay. Also wasn't fishing for compliments, just joking about being unique. You down to do a race from in the States? I am, absolutely. A useless fact, another one, Bogan, another one. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. No worries, M's want another one. I have to order those in 3s. Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate you, Kelt, for more than just that, but thank you. There are more donut shops per capita in Canada than any other country. That's surprising. That is pretty surprising. Man, all right. At least as of 2012, when this book was published. You know what else was weirdly normal for me? Hearing everyone call me Nonder. I didn't even think about it. Felt so natural to hear. Kind of loved it. Yeah, it is pretty interesting, right? Oh, and we got lunges too. Who else wants to lunge today? They do need the carbs to stay warm. Do they count Tim Hortons as a donut shop? Because that tracks. They might. They probably do. It's a cozy feeling. I feel my really old internet game friends. I love that compounding there. Still call my sis or sister, and we've known each other for 10 years. Wow. I do, but I can't. Yeah, literally no one has to use my government name. It's so fun. Sounds incorrect, but that is weird to think about. Wait, which one is? Oh, the donuts. I mean, you know, a lot could have changed in the last 12 years since the book was published. But yeah. Why don't we lunge and let's think about future state here for LootsCon. So I guess at that point we have to call it LootsCon. It wouldn't be GenCon, right? Let's lunge and think about future state. My watch might die, but it should make it through. Hopefully it'll make it through the the timers here. 20 years? 20 years? Really? So you've known each other since like 2004 at least? Did we hear anything further from Gabby? Yes. So Nander, I ended up picking Gabby back up from the airport last night, and she stayed with us. So I took her early this morning. We got up and left at about 4:25 this morning to take her to the airport, and she caught the first leg of her journey. She has two more. She has two more, unfortunately. So her flight didn't get canceled, but her flight was delayed so much that she would have missed her connection to get home. So she would have basically been stuck. Her connection was through Detroit. She would have been stuck in Detroit overnight at the very least. And then I don't know what the situation looked like for getting her home from Detroit. So this ended up being the best thing, I think. And she'll be home. She was telling me after driving, it's a decent bit from her home airport to get home. So she should be home if there are no delays sometime around like 1:30, which I think will be 2:30 for me, but I'm not that young. Just realized 12 years ago was 2012. I'm old. Glad to hear that. Yeah. Literally so young. Also, hi, Bogan. I'm not that young. Nobody wants to get stuck in Detroit. Well, it's just the fact that like staying overnight at the airport is not a good experience. All right, here we go. We're going to lunge for 1 minute times 2. It's been a while since I've done it. 3, 2, 1, and go. I met two of my ex's gamer friends back in 2004. I started playing in 2006 with the same guys. That's very cool. G'day, Coleman. Hope all is well. She was very nice. Glad she came. I am too. She hasn't known all of us through Twitch as long as each other. And so I was kind of worried that, you know, she would feel like an outsider, but she fit. I mean, just very similar to like Zach. She fit right in. Was just so kind. Gotta ask, since Flex have been playing Dungeons & Dragons for 30 years, how did you like your first game? Well, first of all, good Flex. Second of all, I had a blast, Mersa. It is August, but I'm not adding time because I capped it at 1 minute, just because otherwise it's gonna be like hard to do anything. The lunges are already pretty distracting, as I found myself not really being able to think clearly when I'm playing games and whatnot. There's 1 minute. So 4 minutes, more than 4 minutes of distraction, especially if I'm mid-game, is going to be kind of difficult. So, did Lucius call me a homo? No, I did not. I was saying, I saw that hope was the word. Wait, which message was it? Where'd it go? I lost the message. Which message was it that I... Oh, good day, Coleman. Hope all is well. I about said, good day, hope. Like, I almost skipped over your name. So I started saying hope. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm like, I think I got to put a limit on this thing somewhere. Also, I do think that there is a... there's got to be a point of diminishing return, right? Just like any exercise. You get to a certain point, and anything over and beyond that is, you know, you're just more risking injury or something. Homan. Had my 6th birthday back in 1987, so you're 43. Was that what he said, Coleman? I was distracted. Coleman. This December, yes. Yeah, see, I'm already distracted by these lunges. I can't think of anything because my legs freaking burn. But if we're thinking about like a future state, I think basically there's 1 minute. If we had a group larger than our current group, I think our group is kind of maxed out as it relates to the con, like the convention. So GenCon specifically. 3, 2, 1, go. I think we're kind of maxed out. So I've been trying to think about the fact that maybe we get together, but it's not it's not centered around an existing convention. Like it would be our own hangout. And what that would look like, where we'd want to be able to get places that are close enough to each other that we could spend time together. Because if we did Airbnb or hotels, whatever it may be that we choose to stay in, if they're too far from one another, it's gonna be hard to coordinate that. So we have to find a good place or a good activity or whatever you want to say to be where we can kind of be close to one another. One thing I had thought about was like camping, because we could get like a group of campgrounds together or something. There's another minute. And I don't know what that would look like either, because I know some people are not really fond of the great outdoors. 3, 2, 1, go. So would we be able to find, a place that has cabins where people, maybe we have like a meeting area that's got air conditioning and stuff like that. Want to be rich and just buy a mansion in Indianapolis? There are mansions available on Airbnb. So glamping would be pretty awesome. I agree. Loots X East. Actual LootsCon. We're doing around the con to find someplace huge and cheaper. It'd be hard to find someplace cheaper. I looked up one of the mansions that was available on Airbnb at one point. Gosh dang, this burns so freaking bad. I looked up one of the mansions and this is not cheap. It is not cheap. My watch just died mid-lunge. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, thank God. That was an estimate because my watch died and it showed about 15 seconds on it when I looked at it. Loots by Loots East. I'm okay with that estimate. Yeah, it had to have been close. Lutz and Mary can live there and keep it up, and then we can use it for meetups. Oh gosh, just us living in a mansion with our 2 dogs. Could do a 50-50. What's a 50-50? We totally go to a true LootsCon. I'm so down for formalizing LootsCon. That's time with walking because my CP, sure, some is good, but with how my muscles are, I have to be careful how much I push them. I hit a wall a lot sooner than your average person. Yeah, there's always a point of diminishing returns. Commune. The commune. Make it a cruise and call it Loot C. Octi wins. Wait, Coleman might win. Yeah, a cruise would be awesome, actually. I feel like I didn't get to spend time with people very much this year, and it was kind of sad. It was, yeah. I feel kind of similar, Coro. I was like, I didn't feel like I got to spend individual time with everybody the way that I wanted to. And that's just the nature of it because it's such a large group. I don't want to isolate anybody, just kind of how it goes. I don't know if you were there for my dumb idea I shared. At one point I was driving and I was like, what if I just scheduled time with either each individual person or small groups? And like, as an example, I would be like, all right, so Coleman and I are going to play Star Wars Unlimited on Thursday from 1 to 2. And then, from 2 to 3, I'll have individual time with Horo. I don't know, just stupid things like that. And I was like, no, that's a dumb idea. Like that's making an actual con. But not in a way that's actually, I think, doable. Been my moral opposition to cruises if LootsCon was on a cruise. I need to find a ship that would take us out that's just us. Maybe I wouldn't even get seasick in the big cruise boat. Oh, with the campsite thing? Yeah. What is a 50-50 though? Like, you're just saying find some that are cabins, some that are campsites? I had a great time at the con, but yeah. Pool time was so good. The pool time was a lot of fun. Good night, everyone. I'm heading to bed. Enjoy your day. Bogan, have a good night. We buying a yacht? We buying a yacht. Buying a yacht. So yeah, I think that, again, it will require a lot of advanced planning. I think in order to be safe as well, depending on what plan we came up with, we would need like people to like 100% lock in early, which is a difficult ask. But I think that that's because of the amount of coordination that something like that would take. I think we'd have to do it. So yeah, there's a lot we're gonna have to start planning, basically, and I think we're gonna have to do that probably starting in December of this year, because we already found out February, like mid to late February, was too late, and I didn't expect that. Like I thought we'd be totally fine, but it was too late by that point. We need cash deposit up front. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that would have to happen. Yeah. Be more available next year for, reasons indeed. Appreciate y'all indulging me with the Star Wars Unlimited. It was a good time, Coleman. It was. I'm not a huge TCG guy, but it was a good time. And I appreciated the scale of it because I was glad that the four of us got to hang out during that time. Because it was a big event where, it's just like where there's a sea of people playing, and then that would have kind of sucked. But we got to chat with each other pretty much the whole time, and that was very fun. Picked it up quick. Like I said before, I like that it feels like there's a good amount of variety in the cards and the gameplay. The only other TCG that I could really go off of is I collected Pokemon cards, but I never played the game. I shouldn't say never. I rarely played the game. The only other game that I played was Yu-Gi-Oh! And the variety in that is very limited compared to Star Wars, which is unlimited. Small pods were nice. Is that how it is when you go to like leagues and stuff? Is it similar? Cabin sounds like a good idea. I have many amazing get-togethers in the cabins. Pretty sure Coleman just got super excited at the mention of playing Star Wars Unlimited. If it's not around the con, we could also do it later in the year too. Would later in the year be, you think that would be easier / better, or yeah, we could do it later in the year you just mean to give us more time to plan it. Another thing we had talked about too was there's a big Halloween festival around here, the Irvington Halloween Fest. We had talked about maybe doing something like that instead. And then because the festival is much less involved than GenCon. So even if we wanted to participate in some of the Halloween events that take place, they are much shorter. So, and they're free. You can attend, like everybody could attend. It wouldn't be a thing where like, oh, you got to have a badge, So that was another thing I had considered, and I think we brought up at one point in the car. But had a moment after that designer panel where I was like, I should buy some packs. Did you? Some of the prizes for winning were packs, right? And so I had picked up a pack, and then, of course, when we were cracking cards before everything started, I'm just like, man, why does this packaging just feel so satisfying? I don't know. It's just like, it's just nice. LootsCon at the lake in Minnesota. That's SpookyCon. League just depends on how many people show. 3 games, but it's best of 3, usually not best 1. Oh, right. You were saying that too. But I would attend SpookyCon. Sometime around September at a cabin on a lake with some nice, cool temps. I didn't buy any, but I was tempted. I got no one here to play with, so yeah, and that's how I would be as well. Because that's the other thing, like, we're gonna have to play on TTS again. Yeah, that was my hesitation with a lot of things. Like, there's so many cool games at GenCon, but a lot of them, yeah, you got to play with somebody else, and I don't currently know anybody else that I'd be able to play with. I could go find a game shop, but then it's a matter of making sure I'm available during that time, and that's already, as we know, a challenge. But yeah. Go make friends with our DM. He is nearby. Although I'd have to find out which shop it was, because there are a few in Greenwood. Like I can get better if I get the time to get my own cards and study them and really make good decks. 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 DECKS decks. Do you use Airbnb or Verbo or something else for house reservation? We used Airbnb the last 2 years. Love a good deck. DEECKS. Deeks. Wait, what? Now it sounds like something else again. Shoot. Oh, shoot. Wow. Yeah. So I think that about covers the experience, at least as much as I can in a somewhat concise manner. It was tremendous. It was great spending time with everybody. I'll be glad to hear that once Gabby returns home, everybody made it home safe and sound and enjoyed it enough to want to get together again. That's of course important as well, that everybody enjoyed it. And it's just very cool to put real people to the screen names that that we all consider to be friends already, but just to kind of confirm it, Cora yelling that when the ball went out every time is a good memory. Sometimes it did work. I'd say 60% of the time it worked every time. Ditchy, all I heard was Temig. That too. With that one too. But that was when the ball was already out. It wasn't about to go out. It was already out. Continuing my dream trip to LootsCon, which city would I be arriving? Well, the easiest, if it were going to be in the current format, would be Indianapolis. That would be the easiest. Because you'd be the closest to the convention center that way. Timmick was cracked at pool volleyball. The spiking. Don't have my charger here, so I'm not going to put my watch on the charger. But Timmick has a wicked spike. Wicked spike. Almost like wicked smart. I think I still have Baldur's Gate 3 installed, right? Right? Yeah, it definitely is installed. One thing I probably should do is check for updates, huh? Haven't done that in a while. Baldur's Gate 3. Click here. It says it's up to date. Okay. Man, it took me 95 hours to finish Act 1. That is wild. But we're going to play Act 2. I really just wanted to boot it up. I'm not necessarily planning on playing much, considering I only have like 20 minutes anyway, but I wanted to see if I could kind of just get like a refresher, if you will. Puppies are home. Welcome home, puppies. Picks now. Picks or it didn't happen. Where'd I leave things with Lazelle? Where'd I leave things with Karlak? What's Spanky Birchson been up to in all this time? So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and launch the game. We're gonna check it out, see where I left things at. But I don't think we're actually gonna get into anything. Just trying to refresh myself here. You're gonna have to let me know how Creepshow is. I absolutely will. Dog sent me so much I realized it was from Spooky and Koro's car. I had a Spookoro's car. I don't. That's funny. Spookoro's car, and I had a little aw moment. Aw, smelling those puppers. Also, my dog sniffed me a lot, and I wasn't around any other dogs. But I was at the convention center, so there were other smells. Does Act 2 pick back up soon? Are you talking about Act 2 of Baldur's Gate? Or and wait, are you asking if I'm playing Act 2 soon, or are you asking if Act 2 will like ramp up in action? I can still smell you all in me. I should probably shower again. Next question, is Delta a good company to fly with? They had a rough go of things pretty recently. They had a lot of flights canceled. Other airlines were impacted by the software malfunction, but Delta was impacted the longest. That's true. Coleman had a good experience. Even with my delays, I would still fly with them. Most of my flights arrived early. I'd say generally speaking, they are good, but they had a rough go of things the last like couple weeks. So I don't know how to describe without spoiling anything. Are you gearing up to tackle a bunch of Baldur's Gate 3 again? Oh, that's what you're asking. Yes, Spooky, I thought you were around when I mentioned that. Or actually, I'm almost certain you were. Yes, we're playing Baldur's Gate 3 beginning this week. This week, we're getting back into it. I did not post my announcement about it. That's going to be done after stream today because I just ran out of time. I knew that if I didn't type it out before everybody arrived, I wasn't going to be able to get it like published once everybody was here. So, and then I was planning on finishing it up last night, but again, the keeping an eye on friends' travel sort of was my top priority. So I did post the schedule this morning. That is correct. I didn't post the announcement though. They didn't charge me once for a check bag. That was nice. That was nice. It's almost like they don't really need that money. You know what I mean? Ark, hello. I hope you're doing well. Enjoy your lurk, my friend. Enjoy your lurk. I'm gonna just stay in. I think I'm just gonna stay in just chatting. Even though we've got Baldur's Gate loaded here. And interestingly enough, the game did not like chug while I was on that screen like it did before. I wonder if they optimized it. Alrighty. I don't think I'm going to be able to green screen this game, so that'll be kind of interesting. And I also don't remember where the best place to put my camera is, so we'll leave it here for now. But we've got some enhancements since the last time we played. I can actually move my camera around to the optimal place. The Larry launcher. Love the name of that. Let me kill this here. Okay, let's hit continue. We're in a ruined battlefield. Let's see here. Off to bed. Love y'all. Ark, have a good sleep. Ugh, I'm sad. Oh, you got a pat down from TSA? How did that go? Apparently, Gabby had to remove the... They pulled Gabby's bag aside because the acrylic Stardew pieces, they didn't know what they were in the X-ray. So they pulled her bag aside to check those, which was funny. She's like, they're chickens. So that was kind of funny. Oh yeah, this is definitely not the best place to be. Okay. Do we go top? No, that might cover it a little bit. Maybe we go bottom. Maybe we go bottom right. Is that better? I can't actually see. My dang, that seems like a better spot. OBS went through an update, and ever since, it messed up my preview screen, so I can't actually see the full preview of my stream. Oh, you could go top if you know what I mean. I mean, what? Love you, Arky. I noticed something like right on my area, and I chose to think it was because of my massive sausage that alerted the guards. Oh my gosh. Think about while getting patted down, almost giggled. That would have been really funny. If you're like, no, it's not you. It's my friend's massive sausage I'm thinking about. They didn't open my back, thank the maker, because that was packed in so tight. My bag. Glad you got through with the lightsaber all right? Yeah, definitely. I might beeb at the airport, if not really new X-ray, because I have titanium thingies in my back. Do you carry a card for that, Omina? Because I think a lot of times here you get a card that says that you have, like, you know, you have hardware, and it's not your fault when you set things off. So also just realized you guys are not here in the game. I thought, oh, it's been a while. So I changed the audio even since we played this. Okay. Let me get that going here too. All right. Now you can hear the game too. Let's get our bearings if I can. I remember I can turn the camera using the middle mouse like this. Should I go to camp and talk to everybody? I'm in the Underdark. That's what I was doing last time. And I was expecting some sort of like splash screen or something like that. Professor, hello. How are you doing? I was expecting some sort of splash screen to say, you're beginning Act 2. But basically, I just had to wait till Ursa told me, yeah, this is Act 2. So that's why I'm here. Why I stopped here was I was told this was the beginning of Act 2. Yeah. Let's see. If we go into our characters, I think is it C? Not C for characters. That's hide. This is what I want here. Okay. Our character sheets. We are all level 7s. We're all level 7s. I have been loving this combo for fighting. Shadowheart's a little interesting, but I like her inspiration. I remember that much. I really liked having inspiration around, so that's why I've been keeping Shadowheart rather than going and getting... Well, actually, Will can do inspiration too. But the Barbarian Fighter combo has been amazing in combat. So, after pool time, maybe you should go bottom. You were showing off. Stop. You really were? That cake was caking? My gosh. How was ProfCon? ProfCon was lit. I enjoyed your con, Prof. It was hype. Nowadays, my hospitals don't give cards. Oh, really? I can take an actual x-ray of my screws with me? Oh, gosh. That seems excessive, but, I mean, whatever works. The spell book. Everybody else is very basic, except for Shadowheart there. And our inventory, that's going to be the hard part, is remembering everybody's inventory, because, yeah. Spanky's already almost over encumbered, as well as Lae'zel. We can still carry some more stuff if we need be via Karlach and Shadowheart. I'm the weakest one by far in terms of just pure strength. You take actual x-ray of my screws. Oh, I read that. Can't say all that went on because the statute's limitations has yet to expire. Working on a tell-all book about everything that happened. 3 Americans in the 1500 men's final. Let's go, man. It's been an impressive Olympics. Kind of interesting to see the lack of Jamaicans in the women's sprints. But yeah. Y'all were honestly so fun in the pool. My friends are lame when swimming. What do they do? Just want to sit and float for 20 minutes and then leave? Oh, no, I've said this many times. I'm just a big kid. Finland to Frankfurt to Washington D.C. to Indianapolis equals 20 hours. Yeah, that's a lot of layovers and traveling. From my call and work. Have a great day, friends. Nonder, I hope your work day is not too cumbersome. I hope that you're able to kind of catch back up on things at your own pace. Love you. Hope you have a great day. I love fun swimming, which is very out of character for me. Really? Indianapolis to Washington, D.C. to München, or Munich, right? To Finland, 16 hours. Love you. Love you, miss you already. Okay, and then let's look at our quest log. This will be helpful. I could look at the completed quests. Yeah, let's start there. Let's start there. We did travel to... Wait a minute. Okay, we traveled to Moonrise Towers, right? We made it to the Shadow Curse lands. Moonrise Towers must lie at the heart of this blight. We did travel through the mountain pass. We used the lift in Grimforge and arrived in the Shadow Curse lands. The mountain pass is where I found... that's where I actually found Lae'zel again, since I missed her the first time. Did you get the skinny on what happened to Fraser Price and Richardson before the final? Couldn't get in the warm-up area because they weren't on the team bus. Crazy. That is absolutely bonkers. I'm glad. Spooky, can you ride a bike? That is our next guild activity. Ooh, bike ride would go dummy. I would love that. No Moonlight Towers yet. Yeah, I haven't actually been to the towers. It's the travel to Moonrise Towers being completed is kind of funny. That it's like, yeah, complete. Well, I mean, not really, but I get it. It wanted me to get to the this part of the Underdark, huh? All right, so we have that one. Escape the Nautiloid, defeat the Dwergar intruders. We reached the Sovereign's Refuge where we found a long-dead Drow scholar. Fortunately for us, he left plenty of valuables behind. Didn't I get double-crossed by one of the Mushroom Men? The one I saved? Hang on, does it say that? I don't remember where that was at, though. Maybe it was a different quest. Deliver Nair's head. Was it this? Sovereign Spa. Sovereign Spa rewarded us for delivering Nair's head. It was another, yeah. Which Myconid was it? That's why Fraser Price dropped. She didn't want to risk injury without her proper one. Yeah. I cannot, and I will not let, I will not be learning how to ride a bike in such a public forum. We'll have to teach you in not a public forum. One of the other mushrooms wanted you to kill the main mushroom, but you chose the nice mushroom in the end. Yeah, I did. Sovereign Spa is who I went with. What was that mushroom's name? Oh, Glut. Yeah, it was Glut. We refused to help destroy Sovereign Spa. Glut attacked us. That's what it was. A Myconid named Glut heard the Sovereign ask us to kill the Dwergar. He wants to join us. I kept him safe. I protected him. We defeated the Dwergar. Glut will be pleased. Glut wants us to kill Sovereign Spa so he can become the new ruler of the circle. And we said, hell nah, brah. Sovereign Spa is where it's at. So we killed Glut. And that was just kind of a tough battle. We did deliver Nair's head. That was a tough battle for sure. Find the missing shipment. We broke the seal on the chest. No point in returning it to the owner now. Guess it's ours. I remember that. It was Rugen. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, what, I don't remember what I found inside. It was something pretty interesting. He was a glut for punishment. He was. Find the mushroom picker. Let's see. Find Balin. We got a description of Balin. He's bald and wearing a blue tunic. He's also apparently not very smart. Dareth told us about her husband, Balin. Yeah. Found Balin trapped in a field of bibberbangs. He begged us to throw him his bag. We rescued Balin. We should check on him. We saved Balin. We should tell Dareth the good news. While it wasn't a joyful reunion, Dareth has her husband back now. Yeah, apparently Balin lost his memory, but he was an abusive son of a gun beforehand. Now he's just an idiot. Spotted a deep gnome tied to the blades of a windmill. He's being tormented by a group of goblins. Took some convincing, but the goblins left. We want to help the gnome. We have to stop the windmill. After rescuing Barkus Root, we parted ways with him. Didn't he also end up in my party? Not my party, but he ended up at my camp, I thought. I'll hold you and help, right? It's not so bad. Save Mayrina. Yep, I vaguely remember this. So we caught up with Auntie Ethel. We rescued Mayrina from Auntie Ethel. Defeated Auntie Ethel. Let's see. Search the lair for a way to help Mayrina. We saved Mayrina, but she was in a bad way. She'll have to say goodbye to her husband. It is great. Perhaps we can help her somehow. Bring the wand to Mayrina. We found a wand with Connor's name on it. Could this resurrect Mayrina's husband? We destroyed the wand that could bring Mayrina's husband back to life. She was distraught. I remember that because I made my decision because I thought it was going to be an awful cost. So I did the decision. And then I reloaded my save just to see what would happen if I made the other decision. And I went back to my original decision because I got to live with the consequences of my choices. And my original decision was way worse than the one I decided not to do. Thought it was only I was the only one left on the planet who didn't know how to ride a bike. I guess Spooky and I will learn on a tandem bike. Riding a bike is very worth it. It is not overly difficult. It is far more mental than it is physical. Just like getting to ride a bike. And once you understand that, like, you know, the forces behind bike riding are very solid, you'll be great at it. Save the Grimforged gnomes. Also, okay, yeah, the Blood of Lathander. I want to read that one too. I was just about to say, what about the Blood of Lathander? Barkus was grateful that we saved him again. He's planning to rescue his old friend Wolbrin from Moonrise Towers. We should let Thulla know what happened. Did I let Thulla know what happened? A gnome of the Iron Hand clan asked us to help her kin. Dwergar are holding them captive. I think I did. I must have, right? It's complete. There was a poison gnome. Explored the ruins. Strange figure me that he was the guardian of tombs. Then he'd been sealed within one of the ruins sarcophagi. He was likely the ruins' greatest secret. Huh. I'm drawing a blank on that a little bit. The Blood of Lathander, though. This was an interesting one. Learned that a powerful holy relic, the Blood of Lathander, could be somewhere nearby. We should keep an eye out for it as we explore the monastery. Big artifact in Rosymorn Monastery was disguised as the Blood of Lathander. We should keep looking for the true relic. Ooh. I don't remember which one was the fake one. Remove some ancient Lathendarian statues and secret passageway open. We should see what lies within. Very elaborate traps block our path down this passageway. Whatever sits at the end must be worth protecting. We bested the secret chamber's traps. We should see what they were guarding. We took the blood of Lathander and sprung a trap that will destroy the monastery. Fresh Yelek underneath it and us if we don't stop it or escape. We disarmed the monastery's powerful trap, saving Kresh Yelek. I don't remember how to say that. And ourselves, and escape with the blood of Lathander. What about the person that wanted the dragon egg? Not the dragon egg. The Githyanki egg. I told him to go fly a kite. I don't remember which one that was. Tonight we celebrate. I did not raid Emerald Grove. Okay. Adamantine Forge. We use the Adamantine Forge to craft something of legend. If we find more ore, we can do it again. I already used it twice. Cover the artifacts. Secrets. We left the astral prison without killing the being within. They told us we were on the right track and to head to Moonrise Towers. I've been trusting my spirit guardian. It also takes balance. Some of us weren't born with great balance. I've seen some awfully shaky people being able to ride bikes, Ursa. I think unless you constantly trip over your own feet, you probably have good enough balance. Done it before. I just didn't have anywhere to go or reason to continue, really. My bike got stolen. Dang. I had a bike be stolen one time. It was my friend's bike. I had to buy a new one to replace it. I was borrowing it, and it got stolen when I was borrowing it. It was so weird, too. I do, in fact, trip over my own feet a lot, but do you do it every step you take? Haven't needed to ride anything since we got together, you know, since he drives me everywhere. You know, since he drives me everywhere. Every move you make. Bike balance is easier when you start moving. It is. It is much easier, yeah. Oh man, it's too bad that song's about being a total creep stalker. Because man, it's a good song. It's a good song. Help Omelum investigate the parasite. Oh, here was the... this was probably who Nandra was talking about. Nandra had made a mention of like a Mind Flayer by name, and I think it was Omelum. Chan, good morning. Hello, Chand. You lovely being. How are you doing today? Every move I make in you. You make me move, You make me move, Jesus. Oh my gosh. I haven't heard that in forever. Forever. One thing I worry about is being perceived by others while I learn to ride a bike because it's embarrassing. I get that. I get that, Spooky. I don't think you should be embarrassed. I don't think so. But I get that feeling. There's an album that was released where female bands sang songs with misogynistic lyrics. Really? How was it? Hello, Lutz. You're also in Just Chatting? I am, yeah, because I'm not actually playing today. We spent the vast majority of the stream chatting, but I do seriously appreciate that heads up because that would have saved me last time. Beatles, I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than see you with another man. Eek. Ugh. That's a big yikes. Not as embarrassing as driving with 2 feet. I mean, what? I'm gonna teach you, BB. Don't worry. Still getting his feet wet. Yeah, I'm just, it's been a long time since I played. I didn't realize like how long it has been, but it's been a long time since I played this. And I'm picking up from where I left off. I basically played all of Act 1. We're gonna be starting Act 2. And I'm gonna pick up from Act 2. I'm not gonna start a new game or anything like that. So I'm just trying to remember what I had been doing and maybe some of how to play and things like that. I was considering if I had time, which I do not, but if I had time, I was considering loading up an older save and maybe like one that was before combat and then just trying to refresh myself on how combat works. But I'll do that off stream. No, it's not rational. It doesn't calm my brain down. Yeah. Wet toesies. Totally fair, and honestly, riding a bike isn't that important to live your life. That's true, too. You don't have to ride a bike. It's just, it is nice. I do like riding bikes. Like to have a link or something. Drove so many people around with both feet, no one even noticed. No one even noticed. We found the Githyanki Creche. I do remember that. I made a few jokes about exploring Lae'zel's Creche at the camp. And let's see. These are not done yet. We're still trying to find a cure. Find the source of the parasite. It is clear that the parasites are coming from Moonrise Towers. Infiltrating the towers and finding the source of this evil may be our only chance of finding a cure. So that is our... we reached the Shadow Cursed Lands. We should find Moonrise Towers, which is where the parasites are coming from. We also have a personal quest. Find more parasites to absorb and grow your power. I've been absorbing the parasites because I want to become... I want unlimited power. We absorb the parasites' memories and nourish our minds and grew our powers. Decipher books about Orpheus. We read a book about the lost Prince Orpheus. It claims that Vlaakith is not the true queen of the Githyanki and that Prince Orpheus is the true heir. That's been actually really fun to learn about. I do remember that. Because we've had to kind of have this really tough conversation with Lae'zel about it. Help Kithrak Voss. Meet Voss in Baldur's Gate. Kithrak Voss visited our camp and asked us to help him free someone held prisoner within the Astral Prism. We agreed to bring the prisoner to Baldur's Gate and meet him there. Ooh, I don't really remember that very well. Okay. Baldur's Gate quest. We haven't been to Baldur's Gate yet. You have to ride a bike for me to like you, but it helps. No, I mean, I guess that's true. You know, I can't even deny it. It does help. We lost my calzone in the airport. You did? What happened? Oscar left for Baldur's Gate. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him there. Okay, look for Oscar. I'm trying to remember. Oh, that was... Yes. Okay. I remember that. He was stuck in the... the Zentrum. I remember that part now. He was an artist. There were a bunch of paintings around him. I picked up a few of them. Yeah, I remember that. The spirit of the amulet. Traveled to Worm's Crossing. Found the amulet. It's been possessed by a spirit. The spirit wished to be returned to his granddaughter. She lives at the Open Hand Temple in Worm's Crossing, and I don't know where that's at yet. Shadow Cursed Lands. Yep, we're going to help Barkus rescue Wolbrin, I think. Rescue the Grand Duke. Search for Grand Duke Ravengard. We agreed to look for the Grand Duke. We should head to Moonrise Towers. Learn that the Grand Duke was captured by Drow, taken westwards. It's a popular location, at least for the Cult of the Absolute. Mm-hmm. Need to find the Night Song. Find another route to the Sharon Temple. Bridge connecting the Underdark to the Sharon Temple is gone. To reach the Night Song, we'll have to go overland. Search a cellar. Right, the Necromancy of Thay. That's also super interesting to me. It's so mysterious. There must be someone in Faerun with the knowledge needed to unlock the Necromancy of Thay. We can either destroy it or unlock it. Evil is inscribed on every page of this book, but all evil has a weakness. There must be a way to destroy it. Managed to read most of the book, absorbing some of its necromantic power, but it snapped shut before we could finish it. There must be a way to reach the end. And then we have a bunch of companion quests too. Continue traveling with Shadowheart. Travel with Karlach, sorry. Travel with Will. Travel to Baldur's Gate. That's what I need to do for Lae'zel. Yeah, Vlaakith is now my enemy. Lae'zel needs time to consider the ramifications. Continue traveling with Astarion. Destroy the Heart of the Absolute for Gale. Okay. Spooky, I noticed. I already knew, so I wasn't surprised, but it's fricked up to see the 2 feet. Temig happened? Temig leaving suspicious packages in the airport. Is Discord acting weird for anyone else? Feels like a euphemism for lots of stuff. Yeah, lots of stuff. So did somebody like come and throw it away? 'Cause that's a bummer. I almost said to you guys, I was like, don't worry, like we won't let this food go to waste. If you don't want to take it with you, I'll eat it. Like I'll take it home and I'll eat it myself. But it's, you know, you guys wanted to take them all, so I was like, yeah, no problem. I already have a good amount of food here now too. But all right, friends, unfortunately, it's already time to head to the tavern. I feel like today flew by. My goodness. No, yeah, it's that time. I got to get to work today. Working all week. But, let's see here. Try this anything big. Okay. Busy boyo. Yeah, streams always just flow so fast. They do. Thank you so much for everybody for hanging out with me today. And listening to our adventures at GenCon. It was a really good time. As I knew would happen, it went entirely too quickly, but it was a good time. So let me get some thank yous for today, and then I do have to run off to work. We'll be back again tomorrow, though. And tomorrow we'll actually get into some Baldur's Gate 3. I'll do some refreshing of memory offline. So Holman, True, Kelt, Octi, and Timic, thank you so much for the subs. Ursa for the cheer. Kirk, Octi, Coleman, and Iron for being members of the mod squad. Nagar with the raid. And I need to change this now. It's August, but I guess this is at least the last one for July. Wes, Gabby, Peachy, and Ursa, thank you for supporting over on Discord as well. I wish work was canceled. That would be much easier. It's a holiday in Canada. Work is canceled for me. Yep. Thank you for stream, Lutz. Great to have you back. Great to be back. Thank you for normalizing dragon shirts and fanny packs. It's my pleasure. My absolute pleasure. Friends, have an amazing rest of your Monday. I will see you tomorrow for Tuesday's stream of Baldur's Gate 3. We'll actually dive back into it. Please take care of yourselves and others. I love y'all. I will see you tomorrow. I'm really loving the shirt so far. Spooky for sure. But yeah. Lo, you all have a great day. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.